Hey now, PD Grizz here. Today I am talking about a 111 millimeter Victorinox model from the past, the future, the present, tomorrow, and yesterday, the Outrider. This is a big, beefy boy of a knife. Basically, I would say it's like the 111 millimeter version of the Huntsman, a 4-layer model with solid scissors. All the trimmings. Bam, look at that beauty. So these this is one of the early versions of the locking 111 millimeters where they had the slide lock feature. That works very well. I guess they changed it up because I imagine this plastic part can wear out over time, which wouldn't be great, so they went for the liner locks later on. But these work very cool. I do like how these work. See how thick that guy is? That's outstanding. Look at them layers, the way the tools are packed in there. And this has an extra surprise that a Huntsman does not have, which makes this a very cool, very useful knife. Let's check out the back layers. First off, we've got the Corkscrew. I do not know if this came with these originally. I suspect it did not, and that whoever sold this to me, I bought this used. I suspect that they put this in there. Maybe not. I might be wrong. I didn't really look into it. Whoop. Maybe I should have put it in all the way first. Dummy. Maybe I'll try that again. Huh. Okay. That corkscrew's a little wonky. I'll have to fix that. The way you fix these corkscrews, or at least the way I do it. Yeah, it's leaning out. That's the way they always been. If you're going to open a bottle of wine with it and you've got it in your hand like this, you want to pull, it flexes this way. So what people do is, especially with the modern corks, old corks were easy to pull out. You just pulled straight up and they came out. You know, real corks made of actual cork wood. The new corks made out of synthetic materials fit extremely tight in the bottles, and they're much harder to remove. And if you notice, like, modern corkscrews are like lever actions. You know, they use the lip of the bottle and to get leverage to pull the cork out. And you can kind of do the same thing with the knife because it pivots. So you pull up this way and pull the corkscrew out. Problem is, if you pull up the wrong way, you bend the corkscrew. That's why you see these corkscrews, when they're bent, they're usually bent this way towards the back of the pivot, because somebody pulled up the wrong way when they were using the corkscrew. But what I'll do to fix it is I will put a nail through here, and then I will put something in here to jam this pivot so it doesn't close, so it stays open like that. And then I'll just push down on it and straighten it out. And that's the easiest way I found to straighten corkscrews. Next up is the rimmer. Oh, that dog. The dog's going to drive me nuts today. My brother dropped his dog off to go camping for the weekend, and he's already going nuts. He chased his ball underneath the couch, and yeah, he's barking because the ball's under the couch. So, we got the reamer with the sewing eye. You know the drill. Literally, it'll drill a hole. Next up in this bad boy. Notice I wasn't sure about this. I knew these mostly had printed shields, but in the picture I couldn't tell. I never really considered that they went to the detail to add those, to keep the little lines when they printed them, because those little lines are just there to suspend the cross and the stainless shield. So I kind of thought they got rid of them in the printed shields, but no, that is a printed shield. I wish it was an inlay, but I'm surprised it's still there. This obviously has not been used very much, if at all, but I guess somebody didn't like it as much as I do. Next up is the comically small cap lifter. It's just the 91 millimeter cap lifter, but it just looks funny because it's in this giant beast of a knife. Got the stripping notch, got the 90-degree stop, got the dirty little back lock there to make it harder to break that 90-degree angle. Then we've got the also comically undersized can opener. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen the Dave Canterbury camp knife. That I guess he decided he wanted a bigger blade, so he made all the other tools bigger to, I guess, make them look good relative to each other. But the thing is, like, a can opener being bigger doesn't make it like cut more cans or bigger cans. You know, there's no need to change the size of the tool just because the knife changed size. What are you doing, Willie? Just keep quiet if you're in here. Next up is them skizzers. Gotta have the Victorinox skizzers. Again, these are the same sizes on the 91mm model. Doesn't make sense for them to make a bunch of different versions of them for different knives, even though they do the same thing, and the size difference isn't going to provide any more efficiency or effectiveness necessarily. It's not good, like they're going to be giant shears that can cut through a steel cable or something like that. Before I put them away, let's check out this little extra thing they throw in on these 111s. Look at that long, fine screwdriver. I believe that's a number 1 Phillips. It's a little smaller than an average Phillips. But that's cool, having that very long. Like, I love when they find something to use the extra space up. And, you know, it gives you a dedicated Phillips on here. The can opener will work on most number 2 Phillips screws, which is 90% of the Phillips screws you're going to see. And this will help with the smaller ones, or ones that are in like a... say you're taking a toy apart to put batteries in it or electronics or something where the screws are sunken down in a plastic hole of despair. You know, you can reach in there and get that with that. So that's great. And that thing shuts like a bear trap. My God, let's see that again. Look, you just push up on it. Once it hits right there, boom. Ain't no head stop on that bad boy. You got your knuckle in the way of that. You're going to feel some pain. Bam, yeah, you don't even get it halfway up. I mean, it comes out to probably about 45 degrees, and it's just, bam, it's over with. But you do have to have the scissors out to get that out, you know, because it's underneath the scissors. But I like that they did that, you know, because there's all that empty space under the scissors, and it gives you a longer tool. So I'd rather the inconvenience of taking the scissors out to get to it than have a shorter screwdriver that I can't use for as many things. I think that's fan-friggin-tastic. Oh, that caught me. Next up is that wood saw. That is a great wood saw. I mean, that's almost 4 inches long, if not 4 inches long. I don't believe in using rulers here. I use my eye ruler on things. It's not like knowing the number changes the size of it or anything. But that is a cool saw. That is great. I love that. I noticed the tip's a little different on this one. I guess they changed them later on. The Forester I shared the other day, there's kind of like a notch in the scissor here, or in the scissor. Well, the saw, that's what it's called, a saw. And I don't know why, but I think that's just so it gives a lower profile in that particular tool because of the way it's laid in that tool. And then last but not least, let's check this bad boy out. Check that main blade out. That is a fantastic blade. A little thicker, a lot longer than your standard Victorinox blade. Maintains that beautiful spear shape. Of course, we've got the 4-layer tang stamp. I guess that's why they did. I suspected they switched to a 3-layer because on a lot of these, they like on these 111s, when we came out with them, the rust free is just under the liner. So what's the point of it even being there if you can't read it? Patented. And that refers to the lock, not the blade. Come on, you can't patent a blade. We've had sharp stuff since the Stone Age. If you just made something sharp, you can't say, that's mine, you can't sharpen anything now. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You can trademark the shape of things. That's where a lot of confusion comes in. In America, Swiss Army knives, Swiss Army brands has a trademark on the design of Swiss Army knives. That's why in other countries you'll see knives that are direct clones. They don't even beat around the bush. They copy the can opener. They copy everything. Of course, you can copy the can opener because the patent would have expired in 1971 or whatever. But you can't, trademarks, I believe, last 75 years and then can be renewed. So when you trademark the appearance, you can trademark a silhouette. You can trademark a color scheme. There's so much you can do with trademarks that other countries don't necessarily allow. So that's why there's companies like Ator that makes, you know, just direct knockoffs of Swiss Army knives in Spain. They sell them all over the world. They do not sell them in America because they can't. They would get sued. So that all goes back to the 90s when they started Swiss Army brands, and they did have a little huff over, there was some contention over whether they could actually trademark Swiss Army, and they did, because it's, they were able to do it. They basically trademarked the logo, and that covers everything. But I don't know why I'm talking about all this stuff. I do tend to ramble. Anyway, this is the Victorinox Outrider. I'm Petey Grizz. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Petey Grizz out.